I've never been in a situation where I've needed to whip out my ability to do push-ups.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
But I do appreciate when I can do more than 7, which is where this journey started 2 months ago. Hey friends, I might have mentioned before, but I'm pretty fond of challenges. They've got to be reasonable ones and of things that I'm actually interested in doing, and push-ups just happen to be one of those things. And so my research began. There are a myriad of benefits to push-ups, which essentially boil down to building upper body strength. Not only did I learn about the benefits and the proper form through my research, but also what's the one thing that I should absolutely make certain that I do throughout the course of the 30-day challenge. Rest! So the 30-day challenge was done over the course of 2 months, where every other day I was going to be doing 100 push-ups. Why 100 push-ups? It just seemed like a nice even number, and the goal here was really just to be able to increase the amount of push-ups that I could do in a row. Literally anything more than 7 and I was gonna be ecstatic. So I began with measurements and a baseline, 7 push-ups in case you hadn't heard, and a way to track my progress throughout the course of the challenge. I made this lovely chart of each month and cut each day up into 10 cells, which each represented 10 push-ups. So by the end of the day, well, you can do the math. Then at the end of each row, I also made sure to have a space to check that I had done a rest day without any push-ups. Also throughout the challenge, I continued to row and play tennis, which we'll set aside as kind of a control because I'm gonna do those activities regardless of what else I'm doing, with the exception being travel. The first few days, my body really wasn't used to this type of activity. At the beginning, I was only able to do 5 push-ups at a time. But after about a week, my body grew more accustomed to doing the full 10 push-up set that I was wanting to complete at a time. And between each of those 10 sets of push-ups, I was taking breaks. Usually on my off time, I would be on TikTok or Instagram, and I would have an interval timer going to make sure that I was continuing and not just forgetting to do my push-ups. Every first set of the day, I was counting as my max to track progress. And I did progress. And as far as counting went, even the rest at the top was okay for me because I was still having to hold form and keep all of my muscles engaged. About halfway through the challenge, Austin mentioned that my form could use some work, which I had probably let slide from the initial days, so he demonstrated and corrected my form, which then affected my max progress that I had made. It went down, but then it went back up again. So here we go again, one last time. Let's go. That's 27. 20 more than I began with. 27. And even though I'm not able to do 100 push-ups in a row, which was never really the goal anyway, I know that a number that once seemed so daunting is more manageable and can be completed if broken up into smaller sets or smaller goals. Today is my last day of push-ups, and I've got to say that I never quite learned my lesson most of the days, like over 80%. I just didn't do the push-ups throughout the day and just did them closer to bedtime. It was usually just the bulk of the 100 push-ups, which was about 50 or so. This all could have been avoided anyway if I just spread out the push-ups throughout the course of the day. But I suppose that I didn't really learn my lesson because I knew that I could consistently knock out 5 sets of 10 push-ups right before bed, no problem. Another obstacle I encountered were reminders. I made it over a month and a half before missing a push-up day. Previously, I wasn't relying on any external reminders. I was relying on catching a glimpse of my notepad so that I could mark out my push-ups done throughout the day. So today I'll be doing 100 push-ups and tomorrow I'll be doing 100 push-ups, which is kind of a good experiment anyway because I haven't had to previously do 2 days in a row. I'm still kind of amazed that it only happened one time. After the challenge, I've been doing just my max number of push-ups, not every day or every other day. I actually haven't tracked that part, but I just do it when I remember. Typically it's when I'm waiting on something like food in the microwave. It doesn't take a lot of time or cause any undue stress, but it does maintain a little bit of the progress that I made throughout the course of the challenge. If you're interested in other challenges, check out this 30-day rowing challenge. And yes, and now that the push-up challenge has completed, another challenge has begun. I'll let you know how that one goes in a few weeks. But one spoiler is that I've recruited Austin to do this challenge with me. So thanks for watching. Make sure to smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Bye. Micro goals. 27, 27. 27! One of those is good. I feel super strong now. I'm gonna go pick up some boxes.